Welcome to Popcorn Planet. Helps if I have my button on. So happy to be here with you Friday. It's going to be a short show, and I may open up the phone lines, say hi to you guys. It's just me, and so happy to be with you guys as we discuss the news. And honestly, I just wanted to rant about this headline. Some of you might be annoyed of my stance on this, but I feel like it needs to be said. That's just me. That's why you tune in to watch us talk about stuff we care about. And today I was sort of annoyed by this. Before we get to that the topic of everything, welcome to the show. Thanks for waiting for me. I also have some packages for you guys I want to open. Today's going to be a very chill show. It's Friday, right before the holiday here in the States. Happy 4th of July almost to all you guys out there. Happy Canada Day to people in Canada. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I have a couple videos banked for tomorrow and Sunday. I hope you guys enjoy. It is about that woman, but it's some important information, so I hope you guys will check it out. And we talked about Ezra this morning, but man, the algorithm did not want to share it. I think a lot of people just went to the beach. I expect very low numbers this weekend. So I'm like, you know what? I'm checking out myself, and I'm going to enjoy some time with my family. So bear with me, and I'll be back next week, and we'll go through a lot. Before I do, I want to show you guys, the ones who tuned in right now, even on a holiday Friday, I want to show you something I've been working on, thanks to my buddy Brian from No Sis Knows, our merch. He does all my logos. As you saw in that opening, in fact, I'm going to probably redo my opening. I'm going to do the opening again to get to the first topic. I just wanted a few more of you to see it. I'm debuting. You're getting a sense, right? I gave it away. I'm debuting not only a new intro, but a new title for this show, our live show, what we sort of do here, summing it all up. And I want to debut it for you now. So let's restart the show. Now that we got 1,000 of you, that was my goal. Let's get 1,000 of you to watch this new intro. I want to get your thoughts. Are you ready for it? Here's how the shows are going to start, starting next week with my new intro.
When there's an injustice against you or someone you love or someone you believe in, stand up. Don't sit down on them if they need you.
Woo! Welcome to Pop Culture Justice, your live weekly, daily show every weekday here on Popcorn Planet, where we break down news, pop culture, and we serve that pop culture justice. Stuff that's important, stuff that we're passionate about. We're going to break it for you, and I'm so excited to debut that new logo. Thanks to Brian, my man, who made that. It was so badass, and I put together some clips that I felt relevant for us right now. What did you guys think? Tell me in the comments as you saw it. I'm into it. I think we're going to have a lot more to do on this channel. We got a lot more coming, so get excited, and I'm so happy to be with you here on a Friday. Happy Canada Day. Happy almost 4th of July to everybody. Like I said, it's going to be a quick show. I'm here for about an hour or less. I may take some calls, but I want to talk about some news. I want to talk about, let's talk about, there's some pop culture outrage out there, and we're going to be reacting to a lot of pop culture outrage, and I think this outrage is not only overblown, but I think it's ignorant. Now, I think a lot of you are going to be mad at me at first. You say, Andy, whoa. Disney is doing a lot of things to our kids, and we don't, hear me out on this. Each specific case is different, and we got to break each one down specifically. And you saw me go on my rant about Lightyear. I don't like Lightyear. As a movie, Buzz Lightyear is so boring. And actually, Tim Allen did a comment. I should pull that one up. We could talk about that as well, because Tim Allen's comment on Lightyear was spot on. He did it really eloquently and explained why the movie wasn't good. I'll play that clip in a minute as he sort of finally revealed his thoughts to Chris Evans' Lightyear. Before we get that, though, there's a new outrage sparking because I guess conservatives just really hate Disney. That is not a surprise to me. I know a lot of you guys hate Disney, and I'm not here to make you like Disney. Do whatever you want. Unsubscribe, subscribe to Disney, whatever you want. That's the beauty of this country. But this headline and this story really bugged me. Disney's Baymax, new show. Baymax was from Big Hero 6. Great movie, by the way. Super adorable movie. Made me cry. Big Hero 6, I loved it. But they're doing like a little short spin-off show. It's like little shorts with the character Baymax, who's like the healthcare bot. He goes around and helps people, like take care of them. And he's literally a health service bot. And so they've made a Disney Plus series that's just shorts of Baymax going around San Fran, Tokyo, whatever it is, and helping people. So you're telling me, wow, oh my God, in this San Francisco, Tokyo world, there are gay couples and there are teenagers or, pre-adolescent, preteens who have their period that Baymax helps. Oh my God, the sky is falling. We're all going to die. I'm just now the what frustrates me about this outrage the most is people are often reacting to these headlines and these clips and the Disney doing this and that, and they never watch the clips themselves. And then, or they do, and then I want to break down through this outrage because, and I want to see if what you guys think. Let's have this conversation because I do think it's important we have it. So here's the problem. Here's the problem. God forbid, guys, girls have periods, and now some men have periods. It might be confusing to you, but you got to start opening up your mind because the world's changing, and it's just the way it is. And we got to, love is love, man. We got to support each other. I got no issue with this. And what's so frustrating is if this headline hadn't told me this, I wouldn't have known it was a transgender man. None of my business. I wouldn't have asked. There's a little way you can figure it out for people in the know. But let's play these clips, and I want you to see where all this outrage is coming from. So I want to start with this one. This one was wild. So here's the clip.
Excuse me, which of these products would you recommend?
Oh, well, these are the tampons I usually use.
Thank you.
I prefer pads. They're more comfortable for me.
Thank you.
I always get the ones with wings.
Thank you.
Get them scented and bleach-free if you can.
Thank you.
Yo, my daughter loves these.
Thank you.
These might be easier if it's her first period.
Thank
These are really environmentally friendly.
Okay, so that's the clip. That's why we're getting mad. And I already see the comments, and I'm going to call you out today, commenters. You're missing the agenda. They're overly sexualizing. So now having a period is Disney sexualizing? Like you guys are just reacting to any excuse to yell at Disney is what you're doing. And you seem to be annoyed that there are transgender and gay people in the world. In what way did this scene do anything inappropriate? In what way did it tell you what to do, who to be, endorse? It's just people at a grocery store helping a robot learn about tampons. And honestly, if you're not so afraid of tampons and periods, and you go to the store and women buy them all the time, because it happens, guys, all the time. Hate to break it to all the people who don't understand how menstruation works. It happens all the time, and this isn't sexualizing kids. What's wrong with this? Okay, so let's break it down even more. Remember the headline? Oh my God, the transgender. Did you even notice? Did you actually even notice? Because I'm going to challenge and say you didn't. Because remember, the headline was, oh my God, a transgender man buys maxi pads.
Oh, well, these are the tampons I usually use.
Thank you.
I prefer pads. They're more comfortable for me.
Thank you.
I always get the ones with wings.
Thank you.
Get them scented and bleach-free.
There it is. Oh, now, first of all, I had no idea, animated. Honestly, I'm not trying to be insensitive or whatever. That could have been a lesbian, could have been a woman, man. I don't know. I don't care. Now, the reason people figured it out is because the shirt of the flag, I guess, I'm told, is a trans flag. And so that's how people deduced. Again, who cares? Who cares? Why are you letting this bug you? Why are you letting this? And again, who's to say that person's using
I
it?
prefer pads.
There's a
They're
dad in
more
the back
comfortable
buying it for a
me.
daughter.
I always get the ones with wings.
Thank you.
Get them scented and bleach-free if you can.
Thank you.
Yo, my daughter loves these.
Thank you.
These
Guys, welcome to the world. This is the world. Now, granted, where you live, it may not be this progressive. It may not be this diverse because people are terrified to be this open because you don't want them to be, it seems. But guys, this is the world. This will be the world. You can either keep fighting it or you can just get used to it. I don't understand why this is frustrating. Why is this a headline? Why is there outrage? And to say, oh, Andy, no one's having the outrage. No, now that you've seen it, here's, sorry, I'm going to call out Nicole here. I have 4 kids, ages 8 through 15. Who would watch this and it would make them all uncomfortable? What is the purpose? So wait, hold on, Nicole. I know I'm ignorant, and maybe I'll open up so some women can help educate me here, but I'm pretty positive girls can have their periods at 8, and they definitely usually have it by 15. So all 4 of your kids don't understand how to get a pads and tampons. Oh my God, I feel so sorry for your kids. You've made it shunned it. It's like a topic that shall not ever be discussed. Oh, just figure it out and don't tell me when you're doing. What is this? We got to stop shaming this. This isn't fair to the ladies out there. This isn't fair. to kids. And I do see Linda's here. Linda, we were talking in the chat because she hadn't watched it, but Linda's like, man, I wish I had something like this when I was a kid to help me sort of not feel as shamed about it all, or and confused about it all. Are you there, Linda? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hey, welcome to the show. I was just talking and sharing a comment that we were playing the clip of him in them in the grocery store, and I want to make sure I can see you now. I'm confused. Why is this offensive? Do you
Honestly,
find this troubling?
No, when you just showed this clip, whether you love or hate what I'm going to say, I actually thought this scene was endearing and kind of cute because you see like the robot being like, oh, there's all these options.
Yeah.
And to be honest, from personal experience, when I was a young child, I mean, this topic was like very awkward for me to talk to my mother about. Me and her weren't like, I don't know. I just like never wanted to ask my mom questions. And when I was in high school, that's when I found out more details about like different items and ways to use them. How do you use them? But like some kids out there don't have, a parent, whether they're there physically or not, or
who feel comfortable talking about
talk about it.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's just weird. What is the purpose? I mean, I'm sorry, Nicole. Did you not have to? So how did you deal with it? And she, she's getting roasted already. Leave her alone. But she's already getting roasted in the quote tweets of just like, what do you mean? I was just to share some of these insane reactions of people who are like not having it. You have 4 kids, baby, and you grow up and act normal because to do the parenting you seem to refuse to do. If you have a 15-year-old who's uncomfortable about period products, you drop the ball. Don't blame Disney. Yeah, 8 to 15. At that age, they should know what periods are, especially because some people get them as young as 8. What the F do you do when you go to the store? Cover their eyes in front of the tampon aisle? I mean, this outrage is insane. And what's so frustrating is there's a handful of these people who are just going to call it out. Oh my God, look at this. There's a trans person in the show. How dare Disney
I prefer Pat.
try to like please everybody. That's an agenda. They're out to get us. Oh my God, guys, I'm sorry. Maybe it's a you issue. Maybe it's because I try to stay out of this because it's like I want to be free, everybody. But I'm starting to see there's a level of uncomfortableness that's beyond just like the right or wrong. And there's a lot of times where I will defend conservatives because I'm like, they'll be labeled a racist just broadly. And I'm like, well, that's not fair. You're generalizing and that's not okay. But I think someone needs to have this conversation. If you're uncomfortable with this, then it might be a you problem because I don't understand what's happening in here that's really affecting you or telling your kids what to do or even saying the word trans at all. Like it's just beyond me to a point that I unsubscribe for me. Okay, I think this is fine. This is normal, especially given Baymax. Like this is a show that's literally him like, you've broken your leg, you need a band-aid, oh you're feeling sad. Of all the shows to put this in, it makes total sense for Baymax to have a period episode. And yeah, does Disney want to have some of themselves in there? Absolutely, because guess what? The people making these shows are all across the rainbow. And especially in Hollywood and creative types, there's a lot of people because it's more open there and they're normal and they're nice people. And yeah, they're allowed to put themselves in the show. I got no issue with it. What I have an issue with is when they overly sexualize. And that's what I want to share up next because I don't care if it's what angle you are. I don't care who you're with. I don't like seeing the, man on woman and stuff being overly sexualized. I don't like overly sexualized anything. It has nothing to do with who you're with, what your gender is, what your sexuality is. I just don't think we need to sexualize any content for kids. So that comes to part 2 of why people are upset with Baymax. So there was the issue that, again, headline makes it sound like, oh my God, they're like just screaming trans rights and doing amazing, big, huge things when they weren't at all. But of course, the outrage is going to be out there to spark everybody who's afraid of this to go to get upset. But here's the next part. So there's 2 parts. There's another scene. Oh, wait, hold on. At the beginning.
It is common for people to feel embarrassed, fearful, or uncomfortable with the subject of menstruation, but it is just biology. It is nothing to be ashamed of.
No, Baymax, it's not that. I remember when my cousin Valerie got her period, and my tia Mariana wouldn't stop calling her mi mujercita, and everyone started treating her differently. And I'm not ready for that. I'm not done being a kid yet.
Guys, I'm sorry. This is adorable.
Yeah.
This
You are
happens
12.
all the time to 12-year-olds. Oh my God, who else is this show for? It's not for the 30, 40-year-old white men. It's not. It's for your kids. And 12-year-olds need to hear this. And 12-year-old boys need to hear this. So they don't make fun of or shame the girls. So they support women and say, yeah, what do you need? Don't be ashamed. Oh, let me call somebody to help you. There's so many reasons why we need to have this discussion and stop making it so shameful. This is not sexualized.
12 years old. By many cultural standards, you are still a child, a pre-teenager, or tween.
But getting your period is supposed to be like this huge deal, and it means I'm different now, right?
You are getting older. Your body may change, but you will always be you.
So I love Baymax. I got no issue with this. This is idiotic, and it gets spun out of nowhere. Now, so that's the issue. Okay, oh my God, they're teaching about periods, and God forbid. But here's the other issue. Oh my God, guys, are you prepared for this? I don't know if you're going to be able to handle it. Did they just block their tweet so I can't see it? I think I can still watch it here. Oh my God, here we go. There are going to be 2 gay people. Everyone, strap in, be prepared. We're gonna have a gay scene. Oh my God!
Whoa. Hey, Mabita. What, no fish?
Not today, Yukio. Also, I think it would be fun if me and you went to a place, or perhaps a thing, together.
Are you asking me on a date?
Your pulse and heartbeat have quickened.
No? Yes. Yes.
Great. Sounds fun.
Your pituitary gland is secreting hormones
Okay,
into your
Baymax, thank
bloodstream.
you. That is enough of that. Hey, is that an apple?
Yeah. It's a Pacific roast. Have you ever had one of these? They're really sweet.
You
Oh my
are
God,
in good
Prince Eric and Ariel were more sexualized in that scene. I mean, I could go through 100 Disney movies that no one's got an issue with. That was way worse than this scene. If you're uncomfortable with this scene, it's a you problem because you're uncomfortable with this. And this, it couldn't be more innocent, genuine, sweet, normal. And it's just like Lightyear. I got no issue with moments like this. I got no issue with it. And if you have an issue with it, well, then maybe you are homophobic. You really are. What is, Linda, what is the problem with this scene? I'm going nuts. Why are there even an outrage over 2 nice guys having a sweet, like, hey, let's go on a date. Like, people got to get over it because that's where we are now, 100%. Like, this is like, we're years past this issue that we're still like fighting this one. Like, I understand for the trans rights, and there's a lot more stuff in the alphabet that have confused people with gender identities and all this stuff and pronouns. I get there's frustration, but really we can't have 2 nice guys just be like, hey, my heart's beating and I want, like, can we go out on a date and look at apples? What is happening to the world, Linda?
It really is wild, because before I hopped on, I started to read about it, and I was like, one, like I said before, I wish I had something like that rather than the horrible 1980s movies that they would make us watch in school to understand things. But a situation like this, just like in the movie, the world is reality in this world has changed. Like you said, everybody's going to bump into somebody that is different from each other. Love is love. I live by that. You know, as long as you truly love somebody and you have the feelings there, that's love. Who cares if it's a woman, man, or whatever their preference or personal things are. You know, it's just, this is absolutely blown out of proportion. Just let it be. It goes along with the story. And like you said, the message clearly here is to just let everybody live freely, explore freely. There's so many things going on in this world. There's so many real problems out there that we should be focused on rather than blowing this out of proportion. And I love Disney movies, but personally, I don't even like Disney, the company, how they are. So, I really think this was completely blown out of proportion.
Yeah, well, look, and I'm getting, there are some people in the comments, and I'm sorry, this isn't about, it kind of is I'm right and you're wrong. Because, and call me and disagree. Call me, let's have a conversation, because I see people saying this is disgusting. And I'm sorry, you really got to explain why this is disgusting. Now, is it a religious thing? I mean, you can do whatever you want, but to deny that these two people, in cartoon form, mind you, they're not even real, to deny that these two sweet individuals can't be in love and express that, and that you're uncomfortable with your kids seeing that, well, then you are homophobic. You are, because you're against the idea of people being gay, and you're not comfortable around it. And I'm not trying to say that hatefully, but that's what, I mean, that's the definition of what it is. You don't like it, you're not into it. So I'm a little confused of like, what's disgusting about this? Why does this make you so uncomfortable? Who cares? Who cares what these two people, how is it affecting you? And so I guess it comes down to then parents think, well, then my kid's gonna turn into this if they see it. I bet you your kids play a lot of violent video games. I bet your kids do a lot of stuff that you let them do that they don't turn into. Why is this issue the thing that's the disgusting, I'm not letting my kids watch this? Why not? So, but you'll watch, all the ridiculous sexist shows of Disney, of all the princesses needing the man and kissing the man. That you got no problem with, but this we do. I want to have a dialogue. What am I missing? I'm trying to be respectful. I want to be respectful, but it's very hard for me, Linda, because it's like, I understand there's sometimes over-sexualizing it. And I think either way, if this scene ended with them making out and tonguing, I would have an issue with it. And I would have that same issue with Rapunzel and what's his name from Tangled, Chase Ryder doing it. I don't want any of my shows to have sexualized, because my 8-9-year-old, I don't need him to think about that. I don't want, they're innocent for a certain amount of time, and I don't want to think about sexualized. But to me, this isn't sexualization. This is love. Love stories are A-okay in my book if they're done respectfully and genuinely. Nothing that in this Baymax, now you played all the clips, nothing I've seen is worth the outrage. And again, like I said, if you got a problem with it, it's a you problem, and it's your religion or whatever your beliefs are, and you're allowed to have those beliefs. But I got a problem with those beliefs because I think you're being you're being hateful to a certain group, saying it's not right. Is how I see it. Linda, I don't know, am I being too harsh? What do you think?
No, I think I grew up in a household that was very old school, like to the extreme sometimes. And, as I got older and my relationships with my parents, things changed, because my parents are the type of people that, they understand that this world and a lot of things change. We are in huge change. I don't even have to go into those details. I just don't understand how people can look at this and not see there is a huge, clear difference between this is a downplayed PG version of what they're making it out to be. They're, like you said, they're not on top of each other. They're not doing inappropriate things, which would be over-sexualizing. This is actually preparing, I think, and I'm trying to be careful with my wording, preparing, that to let kids know that there's different types of people out there. We need to be open-minded. We should be respectful to each other, no matter what our beliefs are or whether we agree with something or not. Like I always say, even in the chat room, we could kindly agree to disagree. We don't have to make it a war. I feel like this world, we've been so far from that. We've come so far from that. People are people. We are all human beings. Well, maybe not Baymax, but
oh my God,
you know what I mean?
My favorite, because I would just go back, the reaction to, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? The character was just told he had hormones overloading and then walks away covering his genitals. Dude. He's nervous.
Yeah, it's a Pacific roast. Have you ever had one?
I do that with my hands all the time. I'm not covering my genitals. Why are you thinking he is? You're the one making it sexualized. I didn't think
Andy,
that at all.
Can I say like something?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it might be a little uncomfortable. But I remember when I was a freshman in high school, we did some sort of outdoor, I forget what they called it. It's an outdoor adventure thing where there's climbing and rope swinging and you're harnessed. And I remember there was a boy in my class that when he was being harnessed down, he got excited. And everybody was laughing, making fun of him, and me and my friends were just like, oh my God, I feel bad for him. Like, I'm not going to make fun of him. I feel bad for him. You know what I mean? I don't know how it is to be a guy with that type of situation to happen. So when I just saw that, I thought about, like, look, that it's showing reality that, like, when you're embarrassed and you don't know what to do, that's an honest reaction right there.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in a lot of there's a lot of comments saying I'm being hateful, but I would tell you to look in the mirror, because if you aren't okay with two people and you're uncomfortable with your kids seeing this scene, I don't know what to tell you. I don't only disagree, but I just don't understand what your stance is. Because if this is a man, so it comes down to religion, comes down to belief system, and yeah, I guess we'll have to agree to disagree, but I don't understand why this is a big deal. Who cares? How does it affect you at all? It's not. And this is the world. This is the reality, and there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with this, and it's sad to know we're in a place where people still think this is wrong and not okay for kids to see. But Snow White at 16 getting kissed awake by her prince, or Ariel giving up her voice to be with a man and then having to get a kiss from the man to win. I mean, like, my God, Lynn, how many times do I have to go through all the insane things we've ingrained into our children? But
Yeah.
this was, Andy, you're being hateful and disrespectful, Andy. I don't know. Look, I'm all for. I'm totally against when Disney has the agenda and is throwing things in. I even called out Lightyear for the fact of, like, it felt like they wanted that moment, that character, more than a good adventure. And I call it out when I see it. There's definitely things in Hollywood where they pander. Absolutely. There's a lot of wokeism in Hollywood that's bad. This isn't it. This isn't it. I mean, sure, you could argue that they're putting a gay couple in, and but now we're getting to the point where people complaining about wokeism is taking it too far, in my opinion, and it's losing its effect, because you're just being hateful. You are. I guess don't like me. Tune out, unsubscribe. I'm sorry. I don't want to support people who are hateful to anybody. That's my stance, and that's going to be the channel here. It's not like I'm going to turn this into like a big rainbow flag city here, and we're going to only talk about it every day. But I believe in, supporting everybody. And if we're not supporting these two loving characters, I got a problem with that. I'm not going to hide my issue on that. And I open up the phone line. If somebody wants to have a civil conversation with me about it, I would love to. So if you're calling me out in the comments, come call it and say it to my face. Let's talk about it. I'm not, if you think I've been unfair or rude, call me out on the phone. Let's talk about it. And I will see if anybody in this bank of calls disagrees. All right, we're going to see. The phone line is there, mods. I can't stay here too much longer, so I have to be careful. I'm going to be very quick with these calls. But here we go. If you want to call in, go ahead. Go ahead, Linda. What are you going to say?
I was just gonna say, I just don't understand what is the good of hiding this type of stuff.
Exactly.
Like some parent, you know what I mean? Like, sure, you don't want your kid to watch it. Don't bring them to the movie theater to see a movie like this. You don't want them to watch it on TV. Sure, put a block on it. But the reality is, when your kid gets a little bit older and you're not going to be hand in hand with them at a grocery store, they're going to bump into somebody that is different from them. That is reality and realistic. If anything, I think this is a good entry for children to see that people are different and there's different types of people out there, and it kind of prepares them for that, and in a way respectfully, because there's so much bad stuff out there. And like I said, there's real problems out there.
And look, I want to have this conversation to this Ignail. It's child programming. It has nothing to do with hateful. It has to do with grooming kids. If you support kids being programmed, let me know. Whoa. You need to call in and explain. This two males nicely being, let's go on a date. What kind of apple is that? this is grooming. I need to be educated because I don't understand what you're talking about. Because our definition of grooming is completely different. I'm sorry. I try to be respectful, but you lost me. I don't understand how this. So gay is grooming now? I'm lost. I'm lost. And I'm sad because I feel like we're taking 10 steps backwards. Because I don't understand why this is. This isn't that. And I guess I'm pissing a lot of you off today. Oh well. I try to be respectful and all that, but I don't know what this is like a non-issue to me. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm confused by or I'm hesitant about, and I'm a pause on. But really, a nice, loving gay couple is bad? Why? Who cares? Like, if they were like in chaps and half naked and a thong screaming around going, woo, in a Disney movie, I'd be the first in line to be like, this is inappropriate.
Yeah, that's over-sexualizing.
That's not this. That's not this. I'm trying to get one of some of these. Natasha, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Natasha. How can we help
Hi,
you?
Andy.
Thanks for calling in. Do you disagree with me on this issue? Did you have a comment to add?
Well, I just wanted to say, some things should be discussed between parent and child.
Agreed.
Not a lot of people want other people to discuss it with them. It's better to come from a parent. So there is understanding and that trust there.
Sure.
I don't want my child finding out about something because of a movie or the internet. I think it should be discussed between parents. That's something sacred.
Agreed.
Like when my daughter started her menstrual, we call that Woman's Day. Her first day, that means we do pampering. I go take her to get her nails done. We talk about the birds and the bees. We do all that. That's something personal between me and her. It shouldn't be discussed on Disney.
Well, but I guess where I'm confused is, do you prep? And again, I'm sorry if I'm prying. Speak, explain whatever you want to explain. But did you prepare your kids before it happened, or was it a surprise to them?
Yes, I did. I did, because I only have one daughter. I have 3 boys. So my boys already knew. I already talked to them about it. They're older. But my daughter, I taught her little by little, just so it won't confuse her.
Right. I think you did a great thing. So I guess if you're doing that, then, does it bother you that Disney mentions it? Because to me, what I have a problem with is parents who let the TV teach them. It sounds like you didn't do that.
Oh, no.
If your kid saw this, your kid already knew,
what they
right?
did was wrong. I think they did something that's good, because some parents do not discuss it.
Agreed.
And they leave kids confused too. And I forgot her name that's with you.
Linda.
Like she said, she had to learn it. Linda had to learn it. Glenda?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Had to learn it through people at school and stuff like that. And with this, it kind of preps them if they don't have that parent that feels comfortable.
Exactly.
That's where I'm at. So, I mean,
my mom wasn't comfortable either. I think because we had parents back, born in the 50s, the 40s, they're not comfortable with that.
Yeah, and for me as a female, like I said, my mother was very old school, and I only knew about pads for the longest time. I was so tuned out to any of that. And then when I went in high school, I was in sports and I was active. And let's be real, woman to woman with a pad, it was rough doing sports. And then I was introduced to tampons through a friend. And I was like, I don't even know how to do this.
Yeah.
Some people might find this awkward, but that's the reality that unfortunately some kids also, like my mom is open, where I could have went to her for sure and talked to her about it, but I was like weirded out about it. So I just felt better talking to like a friend that already has been using that.
Yeah, like like when I was growing up and during high school, even middle school, my mom told me, because they felt so very uncomfortable with the sex topic, that if you kiss a boy, you'll get pregnant. So I never had a boyfriend throughout high school because I was scared to get pregnant. Yep. And so I heard my friends say, no, that's not true. What do you mean? It is true. And they all laughed at me. And I felt so dumb.
Yeah, that's why I personally, for myself, I'm not going to speak for anybody else in the chat, whether they love or hate me now. But I did think like this scene is the one where he was shopping to find out all the different products. You know, I as a younger girl, I would have appreciated that for sure.
Yeah, and I think they're taking it a little too far. Where when he says "I use these," he might be buying them for his wife. They don't know who they're. Just because he didn't mention it, don't mean that he don't buy it for his wife or girlfriend or sister.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say because if this had been an episode where this man was explaining to Baymax that men do this, I could understand that being more frustrating for people at this point. I disagree.
Right.
Like I can deal with it, but it's a lot right now, and a lot of people are still coming to terms with that. To me, that would have been a different discussion, and I could see some people like, all right, come on, Disney, really? This is what we're not like. I'd rather teach that myself, right? I'm still learning myself, let alone that. I could understand the frustration. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but this scene, like, I didn't even know that was a man. I didn't even know who they were buying it for. Who cares? This is a non-issue for me. And I thought a very clever way to be progressive and help somebody out there, or maybe a parent who's struggling, who's trans, and just a nice little "we got you, we support you" moment that I thought was fine. I got no issue with it. This was not hitting my head with some something that was bothersome. So I don't get it. I don't get why we're frustrated about this one, and I appreciate the call so much.
Yeah, and what's so crazy is it seemed like there's the Karens they call is sitting down with a notepad, watching a movie, writing down what they don't like. That's
true.
What's going on. They just write down, I don't like that he said this.
I gotta run, but thank you so much, Natasha. I appreciate you.
All right.
Have a great day. All right, I literally have like 5-10 minutes, so I'm going to try and do these very quickly. So please, if I put you in, get your comment in right away. Peter, what's your comment?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you, my man. What's going on?
Well, I don't think it's... I like the fact that they have the two guys there together. I think it's sweet. It's a sweet moment, like you said. I completely agree with you. The menstruation thing, it's a little bit almost like Disney's checking off the boxes of what they have to include in the video. And we saw this whole thing with the Lightyear debacle, which caused it to basically not even break even, which for a Pixar movie, that's almost unheard of usually. And it just seems like they're going out of their way to put these multiple scenes in the movie when they're not really completely necessary to the plot line.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. Does it bother you though, really?
It doesn't bother me as a man without children, but if I was bringing my children, I would agree with the last caller that I wouldn't want the movie to explain some of these things.
Well, now I got to challenge you. What is the show explaining to your kid in this scene that's uncomfortable?
Well, I mean, you got a whole bunch of stuff going on. I mean, if you're bringing someone that hasn't even hit puberty yet, and they don't even know about tampons or anything like that, I mean, first of all, you got the trans, huh?
But should they not learn that and be prepared for that?
Well, they should learn that, but at their own pace. They shouldn't go expect to see, their favorite Baymax character from, however long ago, or,
I mean, he's a healthcare robot.
Parents' favorite Baymax character that they're telling you about, and then go into it and have it be a completely different movie where this stuff wasn't there in the first movie.
This show is literally him helping. It's shorts. It's not a movie. It's him each episode helping someone with a health problem.
So this isn't in the movie itself?
No.
Okay, because I watched
He's literally like a nurse. He's a robot nurse that goes around in each short helping somebody.
Okay.
Honestly, I think kids would be bored of watching that in itself. Whether it's a skin knee or a period, it's all kind of like the kids are either watching or not. I guess my issue is like, I don't know, if my kid's young enough, it's going to go over his head. He's not going to understand what a period is, or he's going to ask. And good, let's teach him. Does it scare you to teach kids that girls have their periods?
No, not at all. And in the context, I said I saw this on the quartering yesterday, and he said it was in the movie.
Yeah, well, I love Jeremy, but he doesn't always do his homework on what it actually means. He likes to fan the outrage.
In the context that this is a short, in the context that this is a short, I think it's completely fine to include all these things in there. But if this scene was in with the other scene, with the multiple other scenes in the movie, then I would, the fact that Disney's pushing these things, like, can we just get a normal movie at some point where they're not pushing a certain agenda?
See,
and it's obviously not working out for them.
I don't think you meant that hatefully, and I'm not trying, but you used the word normal. And I just think that's now, as I'm like trying to open up and I'm trying my best because I have friends and people like are educating me. Like, I don't know. I don't find any of this. I don't find anything on this screen as abnormal. Do you know what I mean? And like, like I said, if this trans man was sitting there giving me a speech about trans rights and that men can have their periods, then I think quartering you, we'd all have a discussion here that I think would be different, because we'd be like, all right, are we prepared for that? I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're there to have a Disney conversation about that in such a way. I hope we are. Honestly, I hope we all just get to a point where we stop caring about this, because who cares? But I don't have a problem with her doing. Are they checking boxes, as you say, because they have it in there? Maybe. But I think, like I said, a lot of the creatives behind Disney are in the alphabet, and they want to have themselves be on there for their kids or whoever. And I don't.
And I apologize for that. I didn't mean the people.
No, I don't think you did. And sorry, I didn't. You know what I mean?
I just meant.
It's a tough.
It's
a tough thing
to talk about. Just make a movie for a movie's sake without putting extra stuff in it that's not needed. If this is part of the plot line, I'm completely fine with it. But if they're just doing it to do it,
I'm with you on that. There are times where it feels like they just cast a gay character because they have to, and then they don't write the gay character well, and then it's very frustrating. I'm 100% on board, so I think we're on the same page, and I thank you for clarifying. Cool. I thank you for that. I wasn't trying to call you out. I'm being more careful with my words, just not to try to be woke.
Well, you have to be as a content creator.
Yeah, I want to be supportive of people. You know what I mean? It's really what it's about. But this one was just annoying me because I feel like. What I really am calling out here is I think a lot of people are outraging without actually knowing what the scenes are about or what's going on. And that's what I wanted to make sure we educate.
I have multiple sclerosis, and I get made fun of for my disability all the time. So, like, I'm in a certain different kind of offset shoot of that, but I can understand how people feel ostracized by it. So.
Yeah, you have your own way to connect to it, and I appreciate your insight, my man. A good conversation. Thank you for having it with me, and I appreciate you, dude.
All right, you
Enjoy your day, dude.
Have a good
Thanks,
day.
Peter. Yeah, see, look, it's all just about conversations. Sometimes it's weird, or sometimes I say something dumb, and just try my best. Not here trying to push any agenda. I'm just trying to support everybody.
It's a hard topic, but it needs to be discussed.
Beck, are you there,
It's today's
Beck?
reality.
Beck, I'm going to put a couple people in. If I put you in, just make sure you get your audio, mute your YouTube and get your audio on. And thank you for the support that's been coming in. Tessa, my gosh, tipped 100. Love the new opening and logo. I understand why people are confused or even uncomfortable to a point with non-binary people, but I will never understand the hate. No one is making your kids that way. Gay and trans people have always existed. Well said, Teresa. Yes, are you there, Tess? Is this Tess or Maria?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can. Welcome to the show, Tess.
Hi. Okay.
You have like 10, 15 seconds. Sorry, I'm in a time crunch, but go ahead, real quick. What's your comment here?
Okay. I don't have any issues with what I'm seeing on the screen. What I have an issue with is the schools telling 5-year-olds about things that they have no reason to know about yet.
All right, separate issue, and
yep,
it's more complicated,
exactly.
But that is a better conversation to have, and I have no disrespect towards you wanting to have that conversation as a parent, because it's true. A 5-year-old, you want to sort of coach at your own timeline and length.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, it is what it is.
I have gay children, so I completely am well aware. I mean, Beauty and the Beast. They have a gay couple.
She's in love with an animal.
I mean, hello. These things have been happening all of our lives. This is nothing new. It's just everybody's woke for all these things.
Yeah, it's more open now. Yeah.
Exactly. So the thing that I have a problem with is everybody thinks that they can't agree to disagree with someone. And that's my issue. You have this sweet sweet scene of the couple, and then everybody's making that about something different. That the guy was seriously nervous and put his hands in front of him. I do that all the time.
Oh, stop touching your genitals.
I took it that maybe he, had a little accident of being excited.
Oh, you did? You thought he was touching his genitals.
I didn't even
when we
think
talked
that.
about it. When we talked about it, and then you showed it, and then I saw the action.
See that at all.
But then I
just was
took it
like-
as
he's like,
well.
"Whoops,
If he
I'm
did,
I do it all the time. I'm like, just like, I don't know what to do with
well,
my
if
hands.
he did, that's
I don't know what to do.
realistic, though.
Yeah, I agree.
That is realistic. If that was to happen to a younger boy in school, and he doesn't know like why that's happening, his reaction probably would to kind of hide that.
Exactly.
I got it.
I took
Not
it
to
like
cut
that.
everybody off. I literally have to leave in 5 minutes. Linda, so sorry. Hold on. I just want to make sure. Thank you
I have
so much.
always loved
Thank you.
Baymax. So
Me too. Baymax is the best.
Yep.
Baymax loves everybody. Of course, it makes total sense
Exactly.
to his brand that he would be out there supporting everybody without any. Because that's what it is. What's so annoying is when it's like kids at a playground play with everybody. They love everybody. Kids don't discriminate. It's the parents that
Kids
teach
don't
them
know hate.
later how to discriminate and, oh, this person's mean and this, don't believe this and don't do that. Kids are so innocent and amazing. Let them be kids and truly let them be kids. Don't hide them from the teacher who's with another man, two men. Who cares? Let the kids understand it and grow, and they'll love and be responsible. And it is what it is. If they'll be who they are, regardless of how you try to tell them what to be. I wish I could get my kid to like Star Wars. He's not going to ever like Star Wars. It's just certain things kids don't want to do. So stop thinking that this is going to make them do that, or you're going to try and prevent them from doing that. Sorry, that's not how parenting works. You raise them the best qualities and you can to be good people. And again, in my community, I want people who are going to support everybody and not think this is disgusting. I'm sorry if I'm showing cards here that make people mad at me, but not sorry.
I don't think that they should be mad at you for that. Like, this is your right to have an opinion. Everybody is allowed to have one, and I am with you on this.
So yeah, look, I understand there's we're walking on eggshells and a lot of people are uncomfortable, but this scene shouldn't be what we're fighting about.
I think it's tender.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
Moments like this are what make people finally realize, like, oh, I guess it's not as big of a deal as I thought. And, oh, I guess, I like those two characters. They should be allowed to have love, too. Like, I can't believe we're still... I thought we were way ahead. It's sad to see a lot of this outrage, I feel like, is now kicking up this, like, no, well, that's wrong, and they shouldn't be allowed to have love. And I couldn't disagree more with that, so I will be vocal about it.
Exactly.
I appreciate the call, Tess. Thank you so much. And then we
All
have
right,
Floor
thanks.
on deck. Are you there, Floor?
Yeah, can you hear me?
It's Beck. Hello, Beck. What's up? Yes, what's your comment?
So like I'm a transgender man myself. I'm a 28-year-old man that lives in California, and so I just wanted to kind of give my 2 cents about it.
I would love to hear your 2 cents. What do you think?
So like like this is actually quite innocent. So like I do agree that like if the trans man in that video was saying like I'm a trans man and like I also have a period, and so you should respect that I have a period and I buy tampons or pads, like that would be a completely different scenario, and we wouldn't be like but this scene in particular, because like this is the first time that I'm seeing it on your show, by the way, so this scene to me is just like some rando person that, unless you knew that that was the trans flag, the trans pride flag, as his t-shirt or his tank top or whatever, then how would you know that he was a trans man? It's just like some person that's offering, hey, I like the ones with wings. And when I used to menstruate, as a trans man, I
oh
also
my God,
the wings.
no, that's not allowed. Beck, oh my God, you're like blowing minds. Like, how can anyone be mad? Like, of course I want to support and love the fact that, we got it. This is reality. And I'm so glad you called in to sort of open eyes to see, like, really nice, normal people do it too. And we shouldn't, who cares? But yeah, I mean, you had a preference, I imagine, when you did it too.
Oh yeah, the wings. So that spot on.
Always the wings. I would probably want the wings too. But I imagine this warms your heart a bit to see that, oh my God, they're like I'm not being ignored. Like they're respecting me. Do you feel like a little like thumbs up nod to like of support when you see a moment like this?
Yeah, I actually like, because a lot of people have the same opinion that they don't like Disney corporate, and I'm on that same vein because they do a lot of things that are like cop outs to try to like appease the LGBTQ community, just because they want to be woke or whatever the reason is. They're like, I have seen them pushing these characters, and like it doesn't really have anything to do with the plot line. And so like that to me is just kind of like, you just want me to give you a pat on the back because you like paid, you have a character or a scene that like, shows representation of my community. That to me is just kind of more like a backhanded compliment, in a way, because you're just trying to, it comes off, and a lot of people have been saying this, like pushing an agenda in that sense. And so like, I think it's just like, it puts a bad filter on the community as a whole when it makes it a perception that we're wanting this, we're wanting to push this, when it's people making the decision to include us for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's thank you for calling. I really appreciate your insight on it, because you know best, and you're proof that it's real. What people need to get used to this, and that you're a human being too. And I feel like I'm getting mad on your behalf and everybody else's, just of people in the comments who just don't want to accept it. And it's like, how do you deal with that? I guess how do we help? How do we just to try to combat that?
It's hard because like I'm only 28 years old, so I'm like still very young in comparison to the human lifespan. And so like, but I've starting to notice that people are going to believe what they want to believe, and you don't have the authority to tell people what to do or how to believe. So and luckily this planet is pretty huge. It's got billions of people on this planet. So like, I'll just like not associate with those people. Simple.
Yeah. It's like Twitter.
That's all I have to do.
The block and the mute on Twitter are just really beautiful toys. And you can really do that in life too, by closing the door or blocking the phone number or turning your back.
Yeah. And
we all just want to be free to be ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just don't want to alienate people, like just because their viewpoints conflict my own. So like, they're more than entitled to their opinion, but once their opinions start infringing on my own personal liberties, that's where I have a problem.
Sorry, like it's like I don't want to be like the guy who keeps asking all the. Oh my God, I'm speaking to someone who's trans, so I need to ask all the trans questions. But the thing that I'm always also just confused, like, do you volunteer a lot? Because I would never have known, nor would I have cared, nor would I have asked. Like, and so I'm just curious from a perspective of like, do you feel like people should be announcing that? Shouldn't it be your business in a way? Like, what is your sort of stance on that?
So like, I've volunteered it within my own community, and like, doing events and stuff like that, and spreading awareness and stuff like that in my own community. I feel safe doing that in California for obvious reasons.
Right. Yeah. So, much easier than say Florida.
Yeah. So I've done some work in the community, and actually being involved in the community, because I actually identified as a butch lesbian at first, and then came to the realization that I was a trans man through the people that I've met through the community. Because like when I was growing up, like in the 90s, early 2000s, like we didn't talk about trans people.
Yep.
Like that wasn't an open thing that we were discussing. So how could I have had this label like early on? Like I've only recently come to assign this label to myself, because I feel like this is what kind of explains like a part of me. It's not all of me, it's a part of me.
Well said. And I also have to say, I mean, Beck, you're a handsome looking man. Look at this. We could be twins.
I've been very blessed that I and a lot of people in the trans community don't really like this phrasing, but it's kind of hard to describe what the phenomena is of passing. So like I pass as a man. So like it's because the hormones and, you know, what surgeries I've had has, you know, made it so you know, you can't really like tell that I'm trans by just looking at me. And so it's just
yeah, I mean, I look at like
I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I, you know, have this, you know, this ability, you know, and that you know, I am privileged in a way to not be get outward discrimination because people can't outwardly tell unless I tell them.
Yeah, well, we got your back. Thank you for that insight. I'm glad to hear it, and it's just nice. And it's a good way because I got to wrap up anyway. It's a good way to end. I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody else in the calls, but I have to run out to see my daughter do a presentation at her camp, so that's why I try to come in shorter. But Beck, call in anytime. Really appreciate your insight, and thanks for opening up and telling us all that. And I think it's just good. We learn, like, yeah. See, it's like the scrolls. You don't know who's out there in this community around you guys. So quit trying to be so hateful and thinking that it's different, because someone you know might actually be a part of this community, and you're hating at them. You don't even realize it. It's something we got to get more used to. And I typically am very, as Beck even said, typically I feel like Disney does sometimes just pander, which I can't stand, because it's like, if you're going to do it, write a good character for these roles, because otherwise everyone's going to complain and then call it out, and then it's going to do backwards damage. The Buzz Lightyear thing's an example of just like, yes, it's a nice, sweet, touching moment. It doesn't offend me, but my God, that movie was so boring. Make it a cool space adventure with the cool, you know, lesbian character. Don't just make her stay at home in a bunker and be boring. Like, there's just so much more they could have done with these characters, and instead Disney does sometimes feel like, well, we got to do this, we got to do this. In this example, though, I hear a lot of outrage. It's all over, and I'm like, I went to see, I'm like, oh my God, all right, what did Disney do now? And I'm like, really? This is adorable. This is important. These are lessons that we shouldn't be so against, and I feel like Disney's doing it very carefully and well, and I don't understand the backlash. So there's my take on it. And thank you for calling back. Appreciate you. Thank you, Linda. Actually, I want to read just a couple more of these comments before I go. Thank you guys so much for the support. We can bring this up next week, have more of a conversation. Andy, you're right. As a gay man, Andy, you're right. As a gay man, it's nice to see. In reality, it's very rare that this happens. That's why we prefer to meet on the apps, says Lord Cyberram. And see, Lord Cyberram, I didn't know that you were, again, that's why I like to just love everybody. We got to support everybody, because we don't know what they are, what community they're part of, or what struggles they're having either. Parker said, where's the link for the call-in? Sorry if you were in there, we missed it. Waddles Art, thank you. It's impressive none of the females in Disney movies never had periods before now. It's true. They didn't. Nicholas Starrow, there's a metadata study from 2012 that shows homophobes are likely to be closeted gay. Wonder if it is the same for transphobe. I don't know, but I've seen sometimes that has happened. Sometimes the most hateful people are just hiding it because they're embarrassed of themselves. Alexandra Lost, in my school, some of the guys carried products in their bags to help out the ladies when it hit home. Our school charged females if we needed one. No, that's crazy. Yeah, no, there were viral videos. I've seen it where a dude, boys have it in their backpacks because their parents taught them, like, be there, be ready in case someone needs it. Good for them. Good parenting. Kelly Grinderspoon says, hi, so girls are getting their periods earlier and earlier. I was the last of my class, 14, and I skipped my freshman year, went away to a gifted boarding school. My roommate who had one, taught me how to use the tampon. We have to normalize menses, period. That's what I'm here to do. Because I don't know why we're shamed about this. I'll admit, I was raised sort of like, I don't know what this is. And you're raised sort of like, we don't talk about it. We don't talk about Bruno, I guess, is how they treat all this, but we should. Alexandra Lost, people are blowing this out of proportion, and I think this is a good thing. Agreed. So is Turning Red. I thought Turning Red was another good example of it, where it's like, all right, that helped. There was a little bit more, like, she really wanted to do that boy band. Her hormones were going really crazy for that boy band. That's the only thing I will notice about Turning Red. But thank you, Miranda, for that. This actually is great. It's not talked about, and for some girls, it gives information, encourages asking questions. What about moms, daughters, brothers, dads going to pick up these for loved ones? They need to know. I've done that, exactly. It's confusing for the first time. You're like, which one? And then you're there, and you're like, I guess. Karen H., oh my God, nothing wrong with this at all. Educating and helpful to some kids with parents that fail to speak to their kids about stuff like this. Helpful for boys, too, to learn. Love it. Lord Cyberram, thanks again. James Lightning Bolt, representation matters, even if it doesn't represent yourself. Ross Marie Cato, Sylvia loves auctions. Thank you both. I try to explain a thing when they ask about it, whether they're 5 or 15. Tell them at their own level. Love you, Andy. It's okay to disagree, not to shame. Right, Andy? Says Decage Plays. Well, yeah, I'm going to shame if you're hateful. If you're being hateful to a group or a specific person, yeah, I think that's shameful because they didn't do anything wrong. They're not doing anything negative. There's no need to hate them. So, yeah, I'll shame hate when I can. Mira Rose, way to go. There really should be no place for hate in this world. Love is love. William Musser, it's simple. I live and let live scenario. I don't push my religion on others. My religion doesn't allow me to judge others because if you are religious, it's your job. It is not your job to judge. Amen to that. I'm so sick of religious beliefs being used to judge when most religions teach you do not judge. But they're sometimes the quickest to use religion as an excuse to judge. Thank you again, Teresa. Amanda Langdon, I agree with you, Andy, and support your view. Jennifer's, more importantly, we should discuss Bob Chapek is in for 3 more years. We did a little bit, but Kelly Grinderspoon's Little Mermaid literally told boys to just kiss the girl, even when she can't talk or say no. Like, come on. We were fine looking for sexual Easter eggs in old Disney movies, but this one causes this much hate?
Yeah.
Julio Gonzalez, the haters, same ones asking toddlers how many girlfriends you have, or to parents of girls. You'll be fighting them off or in trouble. Once they're of age, sickos, then it's okay, but this is an issue. Jasmine Pait just joined the chat. Disney has always put in things adults will see, but kids never notice while growing up. It's their thing to keep the parents interested when a kid watches it 1,000 times. It's true. So the parents watch these movies over and over again. They like to be connected in some way. Almost there. Big Jima, I want to know, is there a Am I Gay quiz on Facebook? Why is there an Am I Gay quiz on Facebook? I don't know. I didn't know there was. Bernadette Lone Fire, I'm sorry, but I bet some of these people that have a problem with this take their kids to Vegas where it's worse. Just saying. Gene Rick, Andy, adore you. Have an awesome weekend. You too, Gene Rick, adore you. Big Jima, new polls show trans support is losing popularity. Well, that's sad. Encyclopedia Faye, studies have shown the word homosexual didn't appear in the Bible pre-1946. I don't know if that's true. Brain Nichols, coming in late, parents do not agree with the Disney content, should use the opportunity to discuss with their child why their beliefs disagree. There's another angle about it. Again, discussion, conversation. Jacqueline Whitting, always good to see you. Thank you so much for your help. Maria Janice, I really thought people were more human by now. Crew, you're right. I applaud you. Send E-Guy, I'm trans man. Let me call in later, bro. Sorry if I didn't get to you. We'll call in next week. Jasmine Pete, people started saying the old school princess taught girls to wait for their prince, but we need to have just a strong female role. Now it's not okay for them to just support the rainbow. I hear you all, and thank you guys so much for the amazing stuff. Let's look at my intro one last time.
When there's an injustice against you or someone you love or someone you believe in, stand up. Don't sit down on them, if they need you.
Woo! We will be back with more pop culture justice every weekday here on Popcorn Planet. I got 2 videos banked for you, so don't miss them. Thanks to all my callers, Beck, everybody else. Amazing conversations. Thank you so much. Sorry I couldn't get to more of you, but I'm going offline. Enjoy your weekend as well. Get off the computer for a little bit. Go outside. Call a friend. Do something. Linda, always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for being here. And guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I probably won't even just edit this one. I'll leave this one alone, so you'll get a full taste of what these shows are typically like, but usually they're like 3-4 hours. So if you want to just support what we're doing here, hit that join button. Or better yet, if you made it this far and you liked it and you're like, you know what, good for you, ballsy Andy, go in there, hit the super thanks. That's a way you can actually comment while it's live after the fact and support. Appreciate you guys so much. Enjoy your weekends. Happy Canada Day. Happy 4th of July. Happy just days in general. Love is love. Be nice to everybody. Let's just be nice to everybody. Support everybody. There's nothing bad happening in this Baymax show. And I hope some of you guys go watch it. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you later. Bye.